Hey guys, it's Christina with My Confection Obsession, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do a buttercream transfer. So opening weekend for baseball is coming up, and like many of you, I have a sports lover in my life. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make a Red Sox cake, and as you guys can see in front of me, I have a 6-inch blue cake, and I made this last night and I chilled it in the fridge overnight as well. And to apply the logo, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the buttercream transfer method. So I have my two colors of frosting I'm going to be using for the Boston Bee. So I have a red and a white. And the tips I'm going to be using, I have a number 4 and a number 5. And then, of course, I have my image that I'm going to be using for the buttercream transfer. And so something that's super important to know is that if you are using this method for anything with words in it, you actually have to reverse the image, because the way that we do it, we put the frosting on and then it's actually backwards, because when we lay it on the cake, then it's going to be the correct way. So super important, the image does need to be reversed. I have a little bit of parchment paper because this is what we're actually going to be piping our frosting on. And I'm going to be taping my image down. And then if you are also making a Red Sox cake, just a helpful tip, I created this blue color with Americolor navy blue. So navy blue is actually a shade that's really hard to get, so I just ordered the food coloring. I'll put that in the show notes. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my image where I want it, and I'm going to tape it down because I don't want it to move. And then I'm also going to tape my parchment paper over this. Okay, so when you do a buttercream transfer, the color that you're going to start with is the color that is closest to the eye when you're looking at it. So for this, I'm actually going to start doing the red first. So I'm gonna just trace along, the image with the red. And so I'm gonna outline it first and then fill it in with the color, and then I'll show you that how we're gonna kind of smooth the color out. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently smear this buttercream in. And the reason we want to do that is because we want to give it a smooth look when we peel it back from the parchment paper. So I'm going to be gently doing this because I don't want to mess up the line that I created. And one thing I'll tell you is when you do a buttercream transfer, if for some reason there's a little bit of it that didn't quite turn out, like there's a little spot that maybe didn't get coverage, you can just go back in when you put it on the cake and do some touch-ups. So this next part is really important. When you're doing a buttercream transfer, after you do the first outline shape, you have to put it into the freezer for at least about an hour before you put the second color over it, because otherwise they'll bleed together. So you definitely need to freeze your outline shapes, especially if they're bold colors like this bright red. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into the freezer. I actually did a second one for you guys, so it's ready to go, so I can show you the second step. And I did that overnight, but again, you need to put it in for at least an hour. Okay, so for the second step, we're going to simply take the white icing and trace around the outline again, and then I'll show you how we actually end up covering the whole image. So after you outline the basic shape again, what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go through and cover all the red with white. And what that's going to do is it's going to create a level surface when we put it onto the cake. So once we do that, we're going to once again smooth out the buttercream very, very gently because we don't want to smear the red that's underneath. Okay, and this is done. So we're gonna go ahead and put it into the freezer again. I would say longer the better, so I would recommend overnight, at least an hour. So I'm gonna put this one into the freezer, and then I already have a second one done for you guys so I can show you what it looks like and then how we can do any touch-ups if necessary and how to apply it to the cake. Okay, so I have my completed bee here, and so what we're gonna do is we're just going to peel it away from the wax paper. It's gonna come off really easily. And I can see my red turned out really, really well. I can already tell I'm gonna have to touch up the white a little bit, but that's not a problem. So I'm just going to lay it on my cake. Push it in there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and go around the white a little bit to clean that up. So I'm done cleaning up my image and I think it looks great. One thing with buttercream transfers is they are going to be a little bit elevated off the cake, so you can go in and pipe it underneath on the side to make sure the side looks clean as well from that angle. So I am going to go ahead and do that. I think I'm going to add just a little bit of piping around the bottom of my cake to clean it up a little bit as well, and then I think I'm going to be completely done. So that's basically how you do a buttercream transfer. It's a super great method, and I actually prefer it to the royal icing transfer. I think buttercream is much easier to work with. You can certainly use this with any flat image that you have. Definitely for any logo that's really complicated, that's hard to freehand, this is a great trick to do a really impressive cake. I hope you guys also try this method, and I hope that you enjoyed this episode and you learned a lot. And if you did, go ahead and give this episode a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And as always, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.